What is up, guys? Welcome back to today's episode on this 2016 Ford Fusion. And this car is special because this is my personal car, and I've owned this for almost 9 years now. And today I wanted to do an owner's review on this car. So this car is at 140,000 kilometers right now, so I've had both good and bad about this car. So I thought, hey, let's do a review on this car. So here's a special little episode, and let's get right to it. So to get started on this car, like I said, this is my 2016 Ford Fusion SE. And my family has owned many Fords over the years. We owned a Ford Explorer before this, and we had in the European market they have the Ford Icon, which is a sedan. And so we've been in the Ford family for a while now, and many people complain about Ford being not reliable or being under reliable. There's not good reviews about its reliability, but owning this car for almost 9 years now, I have to say that it has been very, very generous to me. I've barely done any expensive maintenance work on this. I've done basic oil changes, tires, brakes, and wipers. Basically any maintenance a normal car would need. And so I think that we can get started by taking a look around the car and kind of just getting to know the car a bit. And like always, guys, be sure to like, share, and subscribe this video. It means a lot that you guys are enjoying the content I put out. And as a startup automotive reviewer, it's a hard stretch to get up onto that growth, where all my other the people I look up to, like there's some auto vloggers and reviewers out there that I really look up to, like the Straight Pipes and Doug DeMiro. And so to get to their level, I need your guys' support. And thank you very much for all the support you guys already give me. But putting out content like this is pretty hard, so thank you for your patience. And I hope to put out great content and amazing content as the summer comes around. We just finished winter, so I had a little bit of a gap between my last couple of videos, but I promise you guys there's some amazing content coming up pretty soon. So like, share, and subscribe. So to start off, let's do a quick walk around of this car. So like I said, this is the SE, which is a trim level above the S, which is the base model. And so as you can see, we have our projector daytime running lights and our headlamps. We don't have fog lamps. We have to upgrade to the SEL or the titanium to get that. We have our upgraded 17-inch alloy wheels. We have our painted rocker panel and our painted bumpers, which the S does not get. We have our integrated turn signal on the mirror. As you can see, as you walk around, we have our LED tail lights. We can see the Fusion badge. We do have a backup camera included with this car. Our single tip exhaust. Our LED tail lights, as you can see, are a very attractive design, by the way. I think overall this car is a really, really attractive car for the time it came out. Comparing it to the Honda Accord or the Toyota Camry, I think this is one of the better looking cars on the market. Sadly, as we know, Ford has discontinued this car for the 2021 model year. So now we don't get these cars anymore. But I can fully guarantee you that this is a great car to get in the used market, and has been a very, very generous car to me. So now that we got a chance to kind of walk around and look around the car, let's start off right up front on the business end. Let's take a look at the 2.5 liter motor that's powering this beautiful car. Taking a look underneath the hood, we can see our 2.5 Duratec motor that was used by Mazda and Ford for a really long time. It's one of the most durable engines that Ford produces on these cars. You can upgrade to the 2-liter turbo, which makes around 245 horsepower. You can also get the 1.6 liter turbo, which makes around 200 horsepower. And the 2.5 liter makes around 175 horsepower and around 175 pound-feet of torque. That is sadly one of the downsides of this car. It's just not powerful enough. I wish that this car had a bit more of a get-go and pickup. 175 just seems really, really low for this day and age, and especially for this big of a car. We can see that this car is not a small car, So I think that this they should have put more power, and they should have made the 1.6 liter the base engine for this car. Okay, now I'll let you guys take a listen to the 2.5 liter. Alright guys, back up at the front end of the 2016 Ford Fusion. I think it's a great time to take a look at the front end design, which I know many of you are thinking right now, Aston Martin inspired? Yes indeed, because this car was actually designed by Aston Martin's designers, because at a certain time when Aston Martin was about to be in a loss, they were owned by Ford. So their lead designer helped design this car, and you can really see the resemblance up at the front grille, because if you know the Aston Martin Vanquish and stuff, they share a similar grille design. And I think for this car, it was one of the biggest selling points that this car looks like an Aston Martin, because it's very attractive. There's no doubt that this is, this has been developed with luxury and sportiness in mind. And we can see the bold design that it's giving off with the hood lines, with the pointed front end. I think it's a really, really agile and sporty car. The chrome grille is really bright. If you go with the Fusion Sport or upgrade to the titanium, you do get a black grille, which also is a really attractive look. I think I actually like the sport grille better than the chrome grille, but I think this fits this spec very well. You can see flat black on the bottom and open air vents down here as well. And I think this is a really attractive part because it lets in a lot of air, and I think it's just really sporty, it gives off that Mustang-ish type vibe. So I think that overall this design has been a really, really great design for Ford, and it's really sad that they kind of killed off these cars because they don't make them anymore. So I think that overall, if you take a look at the Toyota Camry or the Honda Accord, I think this is the king of the hill when it comes to looks. But yeah, let's take a look around. Let's move to the side and see what else this car has to offer. Moving on to the side profile of this car, I think you can really see how long this car is for being a mid-size sedan. It's honestly, it's one of the bigger sedans in the mid-size category, and it really, once we look at the interior, you can really see why that's a great thing of this car. The rear seat legroom is amazing. But to start off with the exterior, we can see our integrated turn signals. We can see our 17-inch alloy wheels. I love the paint. Overall, the paint that comes on this car is amazing because you can really see the shiny pearlesque glow that this car, this paint is giving off. If you want to know the paint, it's Oxford White. It was one of Ford's upgrade colors, and it's an amazing color. This car really pops in the sun. As you can see, it's really showing off the lines, and it's really showing off its luxury and sportiness. As you can see, we move on to the back. I like this design right here. I think it gives it a really sporty coupe look, and these cars are really attractive. Like I said, I think it's one of the more attractive cars in the segment, and many people like this car because of its looks. So now let's take a look at the back of the car. As we look at the rear end design, I think it's a bit more minimal than the front end. It's not as aggressive, but I still think that it works really well with the cars. I really love the taillight design. I think it's something that's really unique to this car. I think it actually shares some resemblance to the Kia Optima that's from the same generation. It had the ring, it had the light with the outside ring as well, which was also really attractive. And I think same case here, it really works well for this car. We can see our SE badge, and overall it's a pretty minimal design, but I think it works really, really well. We can see the sharp lines that go across the car really well. We can see a black here kind of splitting the bumper up a bit more, so it doesn't look just like a cheap big bumper. We can see our aluminum polished chrome exhaust tips, which also I wish they were on both sides because that would make it look more attractive. But again, this works for this car pretty well. You can see our reverse sensors here, and the tow hitch I installed aftermarket, so that does not come with the car. But yeah, so that's the rear end design, and I think it's a really, really attractive design from the rear. Alright guys, while we're back here anyway, let's take a quick look at the trunk. It offers a lot of space back here. I think it offers more. I've seen more space here than some smaller SUVs. I think I can easily fit a big stroller in here and still do a Costco grocery run. So I think overall there's plenty of space behind the car, and if we can lift the floor panel up, we have our spare tire in the back as well. So I think overall it's really good for smaller families with 1 or 2 kids. You can easily manage to fit all of their stuff and go on a short road trip with this car. And we have a little pull bar right here to pull it close, and yeah, that's the trunk. Alright guys, moving on to the interior of this car. Overall the design is really nice, but being a mid-range model, you don't get leather for the seats. You do have cloth seats. You don't get a leather wrap steering wheel, and it's all soft touch plastic. As you can see on the doors as well, we have soft touch plastic everywhere. There's a bit of leather right there, but that's about it. That's just for your arm to rest. We do have some nice colors going on. We have this brushed aluminum type color that's on the door. We have our lock and unlock on the door, and we have our speakers. This does have the technology package, so you do get the upgraded 10-speaker sound system. You get the different infotainment system, and you do get a different gauge cluster that usually would not come with this car. And I think that's a really good option that you should also look for when you're looking to buy one of these cars. I think the standard gauge cluster and screen are very, old school, and in the current modern day and age, even this feels kind of old. So I think that you should definitely upgrade to this if you do plan on getting one of these cars, and now go with the standard gauge cluster that these cars usually offer. Taking a look from the driver's perspective, we can see our headlight controls down there. We can see our touch buttons to control the infotainment system, and we have our horn. That's what it sounds like. We can see our analog gauge cluster. We have our digital tachometer, and we have some controls for our phone, our compass, and our entertainment on the right side. As you can see, we can see our center screen. This is our main infotainment system, where we control our audio, our climate, our phone, everything. And you can see the shifter to our 6-speed automatic transmission. This being the mid-range model, we do not get a sunroof, but you do get a sunglass holder up here, which is really helpful. We can see our buttons for our lighting controls, our rear view mirror, and our passenger seat, as you can see, is cloth, which in the wintertime, I wish these were heated. These are sadly not heated, but again, another option that I prefer you guys would get is the heated seats. As you can see, there's our climate controls, and we have our electronic parking brake. And yeah, overall it's a really nice interior. I do feel really held in place, and it's enjoyable to drive even on a long road trip. It's a really nice space to be in. And now let's take a look at the back seats. Moving on to the back seat of this car. As you can see, there is plenty of leg space back here. Fairly simple design. We have our door handle and our speaker on the door, and we have a storage area right there and our bottom speaker. If we take a look back, I do have a car seat in here for my little brother, but still there's plenty of space for everybody to sit. We do get rear AC vents, which I was happy about, because many cars in this segment do not offer that, and that is really helpful during the summertime, so your rear passengers can get the cooling and heat they need. But overall, really spacious interior. Again, like I said, cloth seats, but overall it's a really nice place to be as well. Plenty of space. Alright guys, that concludes today's episode on this 2016 Ford Fusion. Like I said, I recommend this car to many people, and I think that it would be a great option for many of you guys out there as well. But thank you for joining me today on this amazing review on this 2016 Ford Fusion, and I'll see you on the next one. Like, share, and subscribe.